This is an American Tier 6 light tank, and the map is Highway. You can see I got the cat mech emblem and the baby in tank emblem. So basically what's going to happen is the enemy is going to control the north all the way up to the road. There's going to be a lot of light tanks over there, and I'm going to show you how to handle that situation. Basically what's going to happen is, because they're going to control that, they're going to put our team under a lot of pressure, and our team is not going to be able to take up their normal positions. It makes it minimize my value spotting. I am going to do around 2,500 spot damage. But basically what you want to do, you see how the enemy controls that part of the field? They're going to control that until we finish them off. So what you want to do is you want to stay back along this area, right? Don't want to get too close to these buildings. These buildings are okay, but you want to stay a little bit further back so that if they start shooting you, you can go down the slope of the hill or dive into the gully over here. Those are your options. And you're going to see that I'm going to be repeating that over and over again. I'm going to be coming up, taking some shots, whittling them down, getting a little bit of spot damage. When they spot me, I'll go back down into that gully, and I'll repeat. And we are going to finish off all these vehicles. We're going to get them off. It won't be a matter of time. So I did lose my gunner. I want to repair him. You can see here I am, low on hit points, going over the side. I'm going to sit it out for a moment, take a look at the mini-map, look at where my allies are. You see we have a little bit of trouble. You can't go up this way. What the hell are you doing? I did get 7 spot damage on that T21. I'm going to report to you now. But this is what you want to do. You want to stay back here until those guys are finished off. You don't have the armor. Your allies have a little bit better snipe position than you do. But right now, look, no enemy tank is spotted. Right now, it's completely worthless for your team. You got 3 light tanks. Nobody's spotted. 2 SPGs. You got to do something about it. You got to be responsible. What it means to be a leader. You want to be the leader for your team. Look at that. He's crossed over. He's on our side. Super champion. He's out of the game. What a loser. Aww. So I'm trying to stay on my side of the hill. It's still a little bit dangerous. They are low on hit points, as am I. But you can see that I'm using the amazing autoing, which is one of the most amazing features in the game, which is why all of us purple players use it. But we got him down to 2 vehicles that are... No, actually, there's a 3rd vehicle there. But we got him down to low hit points. These guys are goners. Crusaders got hit points. Didn't get a lot of spotting damage, didn't get a lot of damage. But that's a strategy that you use with a light tank. The Super Chaffee really didn't move around too much as far as I remember. The AMD did. He's a wheeled vehicle, and they do have a tendency to keep moving. So now we have the opportunity to advance on the enemy. And just so you know, I am going to survive to the end of the game. You're going to witness the great ending. So we got some hidden snipers over here. We're going to have to take them out. When you're in this situation, the safe way to go is down this way. You want to head down into here, and you're going to have to decide on your own how you're going to avoid the SPG, because they can do sneaky shots. Sneaky, sneaky. You got to figure out how you're going to spot these vehicles so that your team can win. You can take home the gold. Look at that. I got 537 spotting on the Hellcat and 240 on the IKV. You want to be unpredictable when you go up for a spot. If you go up in one spot, they're going to pre-aim there. So you got to go up in a different position. Oh, look at that. Poor IKV, the SPG took that game. That's how you get 2 gun marks, multiple mastery badges. That's how you do it. I still got a little bit of spotting damage left to do. The in-game says 1,800. We'll see what it is at the end of the game. Oh, so sorry. So he thought he could get away with sniping over there. I don't know. Maybe he should have retreated. His team wasn't doing a good job. That's for sure. Look at that beautiful shot on the Crusader. And just so you know, if you're curious, the reason why I'm playing this vehicle is to get the gun marks. That's the reason why. This game was played about 2 weeks ago. Which was with the Team Clash 2021 is what it's called. That's why it's got the cab mech design on it. So you can see I'm up to 2,000 spot. We've only got a few more vehicles left in the game. We know that the Oi is in the town, so we only got to go after the remaining 2 SPGs. In this case, I am going through the cap, which you really want to avoid doing because it will signal your allies as to your location. No, it will signal to the enemy as to what your location is. That sneaky M44 looks like he's trying to get away. Wow, what a lousy shot.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
Penetración.
Enemy armor is hit.
And I put him out of his misery.
Where'd they go?
You notice I zigzag, it's just a habit. You want to occasionally change the direction you drive because you don't know who's going to shoot at you. And I took out the M44, what a loser. So we're going to go back, we're going to look at that amazing shot that I missed. There's the M44. Now keep in mind, I do equip my vehicle for spotting and not for sniping. It could be because of latency that I missed the shot, because that does cause a lot of problems. Oh, it hit the ground. Okay. I believe you. Those are known as ground shells. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go back to the beginning. We're going to look at the mini-map. I'm going to play the game high speed. So just watch what's going on the mini-map. So you can see that we discovered that there were a lot of enemy tanks over here. The Super Chaffee doesn't really move around. Me and the AMD are going in and out. We're doing some spotting, but mostly it's just to try and keep the enemy in check, prevent the enemy from doing anything. In the town, it just looks like a normal battle. In fact, it was until the end, and then I came out and did some spotting runs up on that hill. My allied snipers, the Jackson and the IKB, they didn't really move that much. They didn't need to. And then at the end of the game, you go in and you finish up on those remaining SPGs. And you notice that I really didn't fire any gold rounds. I did it firing regular rounds. I almost never fire gold rounds. And if you watch my videos, you'll know that large numbers of games, I don't even bring gold rounds into battle. I only bring regular rounds and HE. If you got any questions or comments, oh, you know what? We're going to look at the after game. You see how wonderful I did. See, I did get the mastery badge because I have mastered the game. Turns of damage, I did okay. One thing that happens with light tanks, you don't have to do a lot of damage. You can easily get high EXP. And when you're working on marathon missions, that require you to get lots of base EXP, you could easily pull out light tanks and crank it up. You can see I was not playing with a personal reserve. Wow, look at that profit, 120,000 silver. That is amazing. It does say event credits, which means that something had to do with an event. I did do 2,500 spot. So it was mostly tier 6 vehicles on each team. There were a lot of heavy tanks in the game. Were not a lot of light tanks. The enemy only had one light tank. And they took control of that field. And we took it back from them. You got any questions or comments? Please post below.